Hey guys, it's me, Crystal, and I'm finally back to do a live stream. It seems like it has been forever since I've done this. I feel like I've sort of even lost my chops a little bit, but um, I just have been wanting to hop on here and share a little bit about my journey and what's been going on, what's some thoughts and feelings and revelations that came to me over the summer, and what's new, what's you know opening up for me here in the coming months and years, or at least what I feel. So I didn't really write anything down for this. Sometimes I get prepared and I have a little cheat sheet of bullet points that I want to hit, but I just decided today that I'm just going to talk from the heart and just let whatever information comes up come up. So yeah. So I guess if you've been following my posts, you know that I post a lot about letting go. And those of you, some of you have worked with me, some of you haven't, but if you know, been here in the group for a while, you know that I'm all about, implementing different tools and techniques for just diving deeper, looking more internal, and of course, human design is one of those, of just really learning how to be attuned and aligned with your own self, what the truth of your own energy is, and practicing the experiment of staying in strategy and authority. And so for me, it's all been about really learning how to listen to my gut, to really get out of my head, to really get out of my old ways of being, which really weren't really truly aligned with who I am, and really getting into asking myself those deeper questions of what is my soul level intention, what is the truth of my soul, and what is it that I'm here to do, and what is it that I really want to be creating, not from a place of lack, or from a place of those priorities that we all have in place, of keeping a roof over our heads and all that kind of stuff, but the really true depth of the person, my inner being, who I really am. What am I here to be doing? And so I spent most of the beginning of the year going through my 13-week program with a handful of great ladies and gentlemen that went along on that journey with me. And as we all went on that journey, of course, I went on it too, and a lot of things began to shift. This is what will happen when you really begin to ask and believe that what you're asking for is for you. And sometimes, at least I don't know about anyone else, all I can do is speak for myself. Sometimes I think that what I'm asking for is always readily available to me, but I'm not ready for it. And so I will be making decisions and choices based on mental processes, things I'm thinking, things I think I need, whatever. And my spirit just goes, that's not going to take you where you really want to be. So I'm just going to help you out here. I'm just going to move some things out of your way so that you can move into the direction that you're here to move in. And that's always an interesting experience. And if you've ever had that experience, you know what I'm talking about, and I'm sure you have. Feel free to share what that was like for you. But for me, it was, sort of being in the doctor's office last year and coming to the realization that, yes, I'm a healer. Yes, I have helped a lot of people through energy work and healing. But what truly kept coming up for me was that I really did not want to be creating a traditional type of practice where you're in an office all day, seeing clients or patients, one after the other throughout the day. Even in a coaching environment, I just kept coming back to that. It's not really what I want to be creating. I have always had a desire to have an online business. When I got my master's degree in internet marketing, it was because I wanted to create a very elegant, passive type of online business. And so over the years, as a 6'3" generator, always in that mode of trial and error, trial and error. I gotta try this. I have to feel my way through it in order to know if it's right or not right for me. I always thought that was a flaw. But of course, as I study my design, I'm learning that that's just how I operate. And so as I try different things, I know I have a deeper wisdom within my body of whether something is right for me or not. So as I went through the later part of the year, or part of the spring, the universe just moved me, for lack of better terms. It was like pulling the Tower card in tarot, if you're familiar with that. Everything just shook itself up, and I was shaken loose from the places that I was, and I moved into something completely different. I moved into a completely different energy that was much more aligned with the things that I was asking for. So I left the doctor's office. I moved my office home, and hi guys. So I moved my office home, and then I was kind of like, now what? It's like, I know that I want to have an online business. I know that I want to I want to, really begin to cultivate relationships with people online. And as I started asking that, continued to ask that question of now what, what am I here to do? I just kept hearing, let go. And I had been hearing let go for months. Like, actually, it was like a year ago when I first started really hearing let go, let go, let go. And I'd be in my meditations, and it was just like, you gotta let this stuff go. You have to let go. And I'm like, what can I let go? Like, what am I holding on to that's holding me back? And suddenly it was like this awareness that I had to let go of everything. I was like, let go of all the things that you think you are. Let go of all the ways that you've been being. Let go of the website. Let go of, and it was really the intention behind that was really be willing to let it all go, right? Be willing to let it go. And so I said, okay, finally I said, okay. And it brought me to tears, really, because I was like, how scary is that? Like, I have to be willing to let go of everything that I thought that I wanted, everything that I thought that I was creating, in order to move into this new energy. And so right around June, I guess, I really felt this nudge to just stop doing anything like business related. And part of it was this inkling that I had that it was a lie that I had been telling myself, that I needed to work hard, that in order to survive and be okay, there was just, like, I had to hold myself up in this space, and I had no support really by which to do that. So I'm doing this all under my own energy. And the notion that I received was, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to be a coach. You don't have to be a healer. You don't have to be anything but crystal, an individuation of spirit that is in this form. That's all. And so I said, okay, I'm going to embrace that idea. And I was in a little bit of a funk, I felt a little bit depressed and a little bit sad about, like, okay, I feel like something's being torn away from me, like, I feel like I'm, like, a part of me is being ripped away. Of course, that was ego, and my ego wanting to really hold on to those things. And so I actually did a 21-day little challenge on Facebook with Jesse Elder, and he said some things that really kind of helped me to begin to move into this new energy as well. And one of the thoughts that came to me at that time was that everything, I've always known that everything is frequency, and you guys know that too. Everything is frequency, everything's energy. But as I moved into that awareness a little bit more, I had the awareness that not only is everything energy, but there's a certain frequency that you can be at, right? You can be at a certain frequency, and freedom is a frequency. Wealth is a frequency. So my effort, or not even effort, my decision for the summer was to just experience what it felt like to be free, to be in the freedom frequency, and to be in the wealth frequency, and to build those energies up within myself the same way I built up self-love, the frequency of love within myself. So becoming that, right? Becoming love, becoming freedom, becoming wealth. That was my practice for the summer. And I had already been doing the presence practice and stuff like that. Like that was also back in June, if you guys remember, doing the presence practice. And so I let everything go. And all these new things flooded into this empty space. This void that I had created was rapidly filled with things that I didn't try to make happen. I didn't go out looking for anything. I just was there. And as a generator, those of you also who are generators will know this, that we're constantly attracting. And as long as we're receptive and we listen to the gut, it's always going to be all good. So let's see. So at that time, there were a couple of different job opportunities that came up that were completely outside of my realm of thought process about what things that I would be willing to do or things that I even wanted to do. And I said yes, because I just felt like it was right. I felt like this is the universe showing me that I'm supported whether I'm working hard to make something happen or not. And then in that 21-day program with Jesse Elder, he mentions, just doing something to have money every day, right? And I was like, well, what's something I can do to have money every day? I could drive Uber, right? So I signed up for Uber, got the Uber app, and I started driving Uber. I drove Uber all summer. I worked in a restaurant, and I worked at Super Supplements, and I was not wanting for anything. There was no lack. There was only new possibilities, new abundance, new experiences that I never would have had if I had been holding on to the things that I thought that I was supposed to be creating, which, by the way, I was increasingly frustrated with and increasingly, feeling bad about myself because it wasn't working out the way that I wanted to. So while I was going through this process, I kind of also had this feeling within myself that this was going to be temporary, and that come mid-September, something completely different was going to be happening. And it was almost like I needed to hurry up and get into the experience where I was of letting go, so that I could be ready to move into this new experience that was going to come in September. And I didn't know what that was. I just had this feeling that something is going to change in September and I need to be ready for it. And so I did a little traveling at the end of the summer, which, again, all new stuff. Like, I haven't gone anywhere or traveled or done anything because I was holding on so tightly to this notion of creating my business the way that I thought that I needed to create it. I wasn't living. I wasn't living my life. I was not living my life. So if you guys see that post that I posted about the Dalai Lama, that was me. I was so caught up in trying to create all these things. I wasn't taking care of myself as well as I should have been. And that's a big part of who I am. Like, I've always known that as a lifestyle entrepreneur, that I have to be the lifestyle. I have to create that for myself as I'm creating it and offering to be of service and guidance to other people. And so I think I had it 80% right, but that 20% was just keeping me going in the wrong direction. So yeah, so I went out of town a couple times toward the end of the summer, which was so fantastic. On the plane, I physically felt like as I moved my body from this location to a different location, more energy was cleared, and I started getting more downloads of information about who I am and what I want and how I can be. And again, so liberating. Just sort of a clean sweep of, I don't need to do or be anything other than just me. And I will share with you what I wrote, because I wrote down what was coming through in the moment, and I'll share those with you because it was pretty profound for me, and I think it may resonate with you as well. But then suddenly there was a renewal. There was a renewal of my mind and spirit that took place. And in that moment of renewing of my mind and renewing of my spirit, there were some things that came to me that had been there all along. But I just wasn't able to see them clearly because I was trying too hard. And so, yeah, so now, in the last 2 weeks, I have completely revised my website. I have started really, so one of the things that I've always wanted to do is write. And when I'm in the process of writing, it's effortless, it's so easy, I love doing it, the words just flow. And for some reason, I had a block. I kept holding myself back from being in that space for myself. Everything I do is in the moment now. I can't, it doesn't feel right to project too far into the future and to plan too far ahead, or to try to even do mental processes of planning. And I think that's really a part of the growth and the shift and the change in my energy and of being more aligned with my own truth. I'm not saying that works for everybody. I'm just saying that's what's working for me. And so when I post something, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be because in the moment that's what I was thinking and what I was feeling, and boom, I just let it come through me and I put it out there, and that's what you get. So that blog post that I wrote yesterday, same thing. I had no idea that I was going to write that, and I just wrote it, and there it is. So that's what I feel going forward. I'm going to be doing a lot more writing on my blog and sharing a lot more resources on my website. Just giving away information and sharing my perspective. Again, it's the healer's journey, and it's not changed that much from what I was doing last year. Only now, as you know, those of you who've worked with me in the past know, I have said I'm on the journey with you. I'm truly on the journey with you, and I'm going to continue on the journey. And if you want to come along and see my progress and see my journey and see what, how I'm doing things, if it helps you to observe those things, then that's what I'm here for. That is truly my design. It's me just being myself and sharing what comes through me to share with you. And so that's one thing. And so then the other part of it was, one of the observations that I've made for a long time now is that, abundance, and specifically financial abundance, and specifically money issues and wounds and the ways that we think about money are holding us back. Like, as light workers, we're here to expand love and expand beauty and expand these wonderful things that we're all compelled to be about. But money is a tool, it's a catalyst for creating more. It's an expansion tool. And we all need that. I mean, we're here to do that. The Bible says that Jesus came that we might have life and have it more abundantly. And so as I just, began to really seek my truth, that became a big part of it. It's like I can't afford not to be abundant financially because I have a message that I need to get out to the world. And I know that there are many people in the group that also feel that way, and we're stifled because we don't have the financial means to make these things happen. And so the next leg of my journey is going to really be honed in and focused in on success principles from the standpoint of law of attraction, mindset, heart, energy, and things that are proven to work, and also foundational things that everybody needs to have in place in order to have to build a legacy, right? To build a legacy that doesn't get destroyed when we leave this physical plane. So those are the things that I'm working on. You might have seen the post that I put out about Let's Get Wealthy. And so please just go to my website and look at what I've written about that, and you'll see where I'm coming from with that. And I'm just super excited to be able to move into this new dimension of what I'm here to share and what I'm here to give. It hasn't changed, it's just expanding, and it's just getting more defined and refined as I do my work. I'm doing my work. and I'm just, I just want to share that with you guys. So I think that was everything. I think that was it. I'm sitting here in the parking lot at the library, and I moved to a spot where there weren't a lot of cars, and someone just pulled up right in front of me. So maybe that's a sign that it's time to end this live stream. But if you have any questions or you want to know more about what I'm doing, again, just check out my website. I'm going to be writing a lot, posting. I'm going to still be doing the videos. I'm going to do more in-depth sort of observation of what I perceive the people who are out here who are doing things that we all would like to be doing, and maybe deconstructing some of that information so that we can all have an understanding that we can all do these things. Doesn't take anything special. It just takes willingness and a desire and actually being clear on what it is that you really want. So until next time, I'm going to go. And thanks for popping in to check this video out. Again, hop over to my website, crystalwillingham.com, to learn more about what I'm doing. And I will see you later. Much love.